So, have you been struggling with the idea of release? Okay, this is an area that I see a lot of golfers struggle with. A lot of them have gone from this roll release rather than a throw release. Now, I've done videos on this before, and I'll drop the link below for the one that I did, which has done quite well for me. But I just thought I'd give you an idea of how a Frisbee can actually help you to feel that release. So come on, let's go do it. So, one of the areas that I get asked a lot about is what does the left hand do through the swing when I hit a golf ball, all right? And what's the action of it? And I've done a lot of videos before on what we call a throw release and so on and so forth. Most people tend to focus on the right hand, on this throw motion, but they tend to forget about what the left hand does. So I thought I'd do a video just to sort of clarify that up. Also about, as I said in my intro, about how a Frisbee can sort of help you to feel that release, because it's a similar sort of motion that we have through the ball. It's something that needs training. It's something that you have to sort of work to train with. It's not something that you can just suddenly just do, all right? But my left hand works. So it really stems, first of all, from how you actually hold the golf club as well. So obviously I'm an advocate of having a much stronger grip, okay, or what we call a neutral grip. So when I put my left hand on the club, my left hand is put in a position as it would do as if it was just hanging from my shoulder. We see so many golfers try to have a neutral grip, and look, you can play that way, you know, before you put comments in there saying, oh, that's wrong. That you can play that way. Many great champions have played that way. They're just very good with their hands at squaring the face up. But for most average golfers, they need to have what we call a neutral grip, or a natural neutral grip, as I call it. My left arm hangs down freely from my shoulder here. When I'm looking down at the ball from here, I can see 1, 2, 3 knuckles on the back of my left hand, and my thumb is more to the side of the handle as opposed to being on top. All right. Now, the reason why that's important is because that's going to help me to square the face up. So when I put force or pressure in my hands, or the weight of the club puts pressure in my arm and so on, it's going to make all my joints line up correctly behind the ball. So that's going to encourage me to hit the ball squarely and solidly, okay, without having to have fear of turning the hands over. So we came from having what we call a neutral grip, which I had for many, many years. The issue was with that is that it caused me to rotate the face open in the backswing. I then had to hold the angle down here to create lag, as they call it. And then from here, hold the angle and then turn the hands through to try and square the face off. So it's something that I still work on every single day. But the feeling of the left hand is really a crucial one. I get asked this a lot. I've even had people have Zoom lessons with me just to talk about how the left hand works. But to simply try and put it, really, when we do L to L, all right, so I've got my hand on correctly, so that's the first stage. When I do L to L, when I swing the club back, okay, if I do it from this angle here, so when I swing the club back and I get to my left arm being parallel to the ground, the back of my left hand, okay, is flush or in line with my forearm. It can even be slightly bowed if you wanted it to be, but my right hand feels as though the palm of my hand is facing away from me towards the camera here, all right? It doesn't face this way. So what I haven't done in the swing is I haven't gone like this, okay, and got the palm to face towards me, which has opened the face up. I've got the feeling of the palm facing more away from me that way. So why that's important is because on the follow through, okay, when I swing down to hit the ball, as I come down to hit it, my hand releases into the ball squarely, my arm is at full stretch, and as I swing through here on the way through, I then do a complete reverse or a mirror image of what I just did going back. My left arm's folded here, the back of my hand is facing or is bent back on itself, and it's now, the palm feels as though if I had a big cross on my hand here, it's now facing towards the camera, okay? And my right hand's worked that way underneath, and it's now in a mirror image of what I just did going back. So my right hand is now flush or level to my right forearm, okay? And that's the feeling that I've got to get. So it's this motion of the left hand swinging through, which is the key one here. It's this motion here. If I do it from the camera here, it's this feeling here of this left hand doing this, okay, as opposed to this, all right? Which is what, you know, we want to try and get you towards. Now, there is face rotation a little bit because we're swinging on an arc, all right? But my hand's working more this way. That's when my hands feel that they're working through on the shot. Yes, my left arm bends and so on, and I'm working more this way, all right? So it's just a mirror image of just what I did on the way back, but just the same on the way through. Now the Frisbee gives me that sort of feel, okay? If I'm going to throw a Frisbee backhand with my left hand here, like that, if I throw it this way, my left hand would snap in that action through the ball. So it's this, like that, is how I would throw a Frisbee. So it's that motion through impact is how I'm going to feel, like that. Okay, my Frisbee will go off down the fairway. So I'm throwing a Frisbee this way. It's the same feeling that I'm trying to generate when I swing a golf club, is I want my hand to feel as though it's working back that way. Okay, so my hand's going from here, like that. So what I would generally do to practice this is I would take an L to L swing, okay, but I would focus on that feel on the way through. Regardless of what happens, you know, with regards to strike, I'm just going to swing L to L, okay? And I'm focusing on here. I stick that position here. My wrists are fully set again, but you can see how the back of my left hand is facing towards where I want it to go. Sorry, the palm of my left hand is facing to where I want the ball to go, but my right arm level to the ground. This arm is now turned this way. It's not bent back on itself. So it's just a case of rehearsing it. So I'm just going to go back. Just going to go L to L, all right? And that's what I'm practicing there. And that one's just gone dead straight, all right? You have to trust me on that one. I could show you TrackMan numbers here. But that's just gone dead straight. So I'm just doing L to L, just practicing that feel. So my right hand can work this way freely, okay? So it can work this way freely through the shot, and the club face stays square, and my left hand is just facilitating that movement of moving this way. So we see so many golfers that come to us that they've worked on for so many years, swinging in here, turning the hands over. And the issue we have with that is when you turn the hands over, okay, I've got the ball going left there now. When I do that, and then we change their grip, okay, and when we change their grip to being stronger, they then still live in the past of turning the hand over, okay? Of course, the ball's going to go left. So when you change the grip, you've got to change the philosophy on your release. The whole purpose of this, though, is that the club face remains square to the swing path, not the target, okay? So it's staying square to the swing path. That's where most people get this a little bit confused, because they're saying it doesn't work. You know, the club face is going to stay open. Yeah, it does if you try and swing it to the target. My club swings on an arc, so it's staying square to the path, all right? So really, just get that feel for that left hand facing that way towards the target rather than rolling the hand to the ground or facing this to the sky, if that makes sense. So that's a great thing to try and work on for club face control, because those golfers that can control the face, okay, win. All right, so again, I've stuck that there and the ball's gone pretty straight, all right? And yes, I'll get asked this, is it the same for every club in the bag? As we generally say, just do it with the clubs you want to hit well. But again, I can go, it's a bit of a low T peg, but I can go from L to L on the way through. So even with my driver here, L to L, my hand's working this way, the club face is square to my path. Okay, it's worked squarely to my path. So yes, it's the same with every single club in the bag, whether it be driver, 3-wood, wedges, whatever. Just going to go L to L, I stuck it there, ball's gone pretty straight. So it's just a case of practicing that and putting it into practice with the clubs. Then obviously I can make a fuller swing, just creating that feel. But yeah, it's just basically the same sort of feel or motion. So L to L, okay, L to L. I stuck that hand position there. It's gone dead straight towards my 200-yard marker. Happy days. 250 yards just with L to L. I can take that all day long. So it's the same motion that I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to achieve that through, or that follow through position, like here. I feel as though I'm like that, as opposed to that, which I lived in for a long time. So practice that feel, that release. You'll get the ball flying a lot straighter when you do that. Okay, so practice that as much as you possibly can. It's really important. Get that feel for that release of the club. Use a Frisbee if you have to. Throw a Frisbee down the fairway, and that just gives you that feel for what that release is like. It's an everyday object that you already know how to use. You don't need much training on how to throw a Frisbee, I don't think. So get that feel. That will help you to release the club a lot better. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and to share with your friends. And if you want any more content and any ideas of what you want me to video, please let me know. If you want some more short game stuff, drop it in the comments below. And if there is anything particular, let me know. Because a lot of my stuff is swing heavy, but I've got some great facilities here at the Manchester Golf Club where we've got 3 short game areas, great bunkers, great putting green. Hey, we even have a sand putt lab upstairs as well, so can do anything like that. If you have anything like that you want me to look at, please let me know.